Ahem. Hey, yo, what's good, everyone? Hello, hello. If you are a sentient human being, make your presence known. Say hello. I'm taking attendance right now. I'm taking attendance to check in today. Like the stream. Say something in the chat. And I will count you for attendance today. What's good, everyone? I hope you're doing well today. I hope you're having a swell Monday. My goodness. It's Monday. Strob's here. That's great. Muted? Nice try. Nice try. Howdy, howdy. Yo, Ear Trumpet, thank you for the gifted membership. I appreciate that very much. Congrats to Baxter. We are dangerously close now to 700 total memberships on the Chanel. On the YouTube Chanel. Hello, sentient humans. No, it doesn't feel like a Monday to me. Me and Straub are on a little trip this weekend, and we're back. Feels weird that it's Monday. I forgot to actually play the things here. Let me switch over here. We know the drill with YouTube. I don't hide behind the starting soon screen too long. Yo, Shy, thank you for the 15 saying ahoy. Nice to see you live. I appreciate that very, very much. Welcome back, welcome back. Appreciate the super chat. And also, Fabsit saying, with the 5 Canadian bucks, Bad Time Rev, Madam Savvy is on her stream. It is still ongoing and interesting. Hi to Straub. Saw Dark Side Phil news. I didn't see the latest news with DSP, but there's always something. And no worries. Appreciate you guys being here, even just to check in, say hello. And also Classy Viking with the $5 super chat as well, saying, what do you call two blackbirds stuck together? Velcro. I'll see myself out. Go Rev, go Straub. Hi y'all. Badoonch. Thank you very much for the 5 and the pun, Classy Viking. Thank you, thank you. Let us troll Rev. Listen. Are you guys gaslighting my wife? Only I can gaslight my wife. Do you understand? Seriously? You guys are trying to gaslight my wife by thinking this is all muted? Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious, guys. Yeah, something's always up with DSP. Don't worry about that. Will you be doing any gaming streams during these streams? I think so, in the future, yeah. Just for now, I mean, for those who don't know, we started YouTube streams on the 1st of this month, so I'm still just kind of getting used to things, but for now we're just kind of chilling and talking, you know. Chilling and talking. Hello, hello. Apparently you need to say no. No, I have not confirmed any of that. What are you talking about? There's no way I would just, like, commit to saying that for nothing. Do you guys even know me? Does anyone even know me? Everyone's gaslighting today. Everyone's gaslighting me. It's muted. Okay, okay. Chilling, vibing, I dig it. I mean, that's kind of the YouTube way over here. Someone said, I don't know if someone might have asked for me to say it. I didn't commit to anything. I didn't commit to nothing. I didn't commit to nothing. You were gaslit again. Gaslit again. That's 2 wife gaslightings so far, chat. Absolutely dastardly work. She's too naive. She also just woke up from a nap. Are the glasses smaller than usual today? Are you joking? You know what? Oh, this is a great question here. Yo, Quad Manny with the $10 super chat asking a very relevant and good question. Hello, Rev. Opinion on carrot cake, which is very relevant. Me and Straub, when we were on our little trip, we bought a bunch of cupcakes for family and friends, and one of them was carrot cake because it's my dad's favorite. Carrot cake is really good. I like it, but I would choose stuff over it. But I still like it, for sure. Very on topic. Carrot cake only second to cheesecake. Well, cheesecake bangs, okay? Straub knows. I'm not a big dessert person, but cheesecake, for sure. Your glasses are upside down. Now you guys are just desperate. Absolutely desperate. But thank you for the 10. That's now 4 super chats out of 20 for the day. The goal is total chud victory. You know what? Since people have been asking, there's a certain, there's a phrase that Nico Yozawa says. I don't know. People are demanding it. Do we do it for a successful goal completion or one red super chat? I don't know. I might have to. I'm just putting it out into the ether, ladies and gentlemen. Can't wait for the stream to start. How dare you? It is my right as an American to come on here and yap for at least a couple minutes before I actually do anything important. Either sounds good to me. Sounds good to me, Straub. What about carrot cheesecake? Now that sounds good. Do it for both? Okay. Red velvet is better than carrot. We also had red velvet as well. Did get some mini strawberry cheesecakes. Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was. That's what it was. Yo, Texan Rider with a 5 saying, will we get a Desu? There you go. Simple as. Welcome back, Texan Rider. We got the Desu count. By the way, that marks 2 for the stream. I noticed someone did provide, or Straub showed me in her Discord server, there is an active Desu tracker for every stream. And someone is putting in the work, and hats off to them. I am watching. It is very important work you're doing. There's no pressure to do it, but it is pretty cool. It is noticed and appreciated. Zerdum, Lord of Ice, with a $20 donation. I appreciate that very, very much, dude. $20. And it says, thank you for your donation. And I say, thank you for your donation. Very kind of you. You can say Desu, but not a certain phrase. I'm heartbroken. Listen, that one is that's humiliating, okay? Yeah, the cupcakes were bangers. Yo, and Lich, thank you for the $1 as well. Thank you for your donation. No, thank you for your donation. That's 20 Australian dollars. Oh, I see. Australian conversion. It's basically the same. I count is the same. Close enough. Yo, and my ear trumpet with a 2. Australian as well? Am I just like noticing this currency now? Good Tuesday morning from Australia. I appreciate that very, very much. Yeah, and thank you for the gifted membership earlier too. Yeah, we are on the door of 700 total members for our first month. Pretty cool. Very cool stuff. You can take the Rev out of Desu, but you can't take the Desu out of Rev. You guys are getting showered with Desus today. You're welcome. You're very welcome. You could. Oh, that was Giggles saying that. Well, welcome back, Giggles. Man, I gotta learn how to speak. What news do you have for us today? I got plenty of modern audience Slop Fiesta. Indeed. In fact, I might switch over here in a second. Okay, let me read this first, and then we'll switch over to the stories for today. Suna Soul Silver with a 10 Canadian bucks saying long-time lurker, first time directly super chatting. Glad you and Slop joined the Side Scroller podcast. Been going to church lately, even though CAD will be censoring the Bible soon. Well, that's terrible. But thank you so much for the 10. I'm glad you're going to church lately. That's awesome. And you know what? From one lurker to the other, I appreciate the message and the supports. Yeah, we'll smuggle you some Bibles. Don't worry. We got you. We got you, fam. And here's Fabsid with another 5 Canadian buckarooskies saying, I'm a cheesecake lad, but my favorite is a Dominican dessert called Tres Leches. Saw the latest shoe video. Amazing and disturbing, especially as a Christian. I have not seen that. She dropped it while I was out of town, so we're going to have to catch up on Shoe's video at some point soon. For sure, that's a VTuber's obligation to check that out anytime Shoe uploads a video. And Nate with the 5 saying, I missed the last few streams. I know, how dare I? How has the transition been to streaming on YouTube now? Last time you said it was better. I love streaming on YouTube. I like it a lot better. And I have seen Tres Leches, by the way. But no, I like streaming on YouTube. I like this format. Like super chats, people leaving their messages like this. It's very controlled. I like the pace. And YouTube is just, I don't know. I just don't like Twitch as a platform to begin with. So there's things that can be improved upon on YouTube for sure. But it's just... It's also more accessible. Not everyone uses Twitch. But anyone who found me on YouTube, well, they use YouTube, so they'll find these streams. Yes, we've been on Side Scrollers, by the way, and we're returning to Side Scrollers tomorrow. I have no idea what's going on with that show tomorrow, but it's going to be fun because it's Side Scrollers, right? But thank you guys for the donations. But we're gonna talk about a whole lot here. A whole lot of stuff coming at you. Shoe video was entertaining but a bit conspiratory for my taste. I heard that too. That's where my Kit Kats went. I love me a Kit Kat, so does Straub. Happy to be here. That's right, Ibaki. Welcome back. We're all happy to be here. Is that Whoopi? No, not quite. Not quite. I get it. Still got to see Project Hail Mary. Absolutely go see it. Banger. It's an absolute banger. I talk a little bit more about Project Hail Mary and the critical drinker controversy involving its writer right now in today's video, but for the stream we're going to talk a little bit more about some more stuff involving Star Trek. Conspiracy equals wait 6 months, chat. I mean, let's be real, that is kind of... Conspiracy theorists are eating good this year, that's all I can say, right? They're eating good. A lot of disturbing things are becoming known facts. Yo, and Osun. Thank you for the membership. Becoming a Revling. We're one closer to 700. I believe we're like less than 10 members away from 700 members total on the channel. Yo, Emperor Parallax with the 2 saying, I hate Rev. Love you long time syndrome. Reverse Rev derangement syndrome. That's amazing. Thank you for the support, as always. My wholesome community. Thank you. How kind of you, Emperor. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm just ahead of the game. That's right. That's right. That is correct. Crunch bars are the bomb. Crunch bars are good. Okay, guys. Oh! My ear trumpet, thank you for another gifted membership going out to Call Me Kaz. Congrats on that. Thank you very much. And oh my goodness, we're popping off, ladies and gentlemen. Oh man. You know what? That's too fitting. I gotta do the official math, because we gotta get this right, okay? I'm not doing this for nothing. It's almost too good to be true. Hold on. Is it close enough? It's close enough. The conversion doesn't add up all the way, but I'll count it. Who cares? Attackmon with the 5,000 yen. That counts as a red super chat. And all they say is good morning, Rev. You know what? It makes a lot of sense that this comes in yen, the form of yen. Because I said if there was a red super, I would say the line. Okay? And it adds up that it's coming through yen.
Nico, Nico, ni.
You're welcome. You're welcome, ladies and gentlemen. That's about as embarrassing as it gets. Right there. Very fitting. You're welcome. What line? There you go. There you go. Coincidence? Yeah. This is actually a scripted stream. It's a Japanese currency? Correct. That's why it was so fitting. People wanted the Nico Nico ni. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. You joined at a great time. Yes, you did. Now sing Pakami Tai? No. I did like that meme a lot, though. That was a fun meme back in the day. That was quite the line. Thank you. Straub is of course she's laughing. But thank you for the 5,000 yen. 07's in the chat. Eh? You get an 07 anytime it's a red super chat, that's for sure. Or gifted memberships. I think Rev is so cute. Yeah, thanks, Straub. Malin with 100 DOP saying, sorry for asking, but what is Chud? Chud is me, Chud is you. That's right. There's nothing else to say. Chud is person I don't like on the internet. That's what I get called all the time. That's right. Basically, it just means kind of like anti-woke. I would say that's the most common thing it's used for. But, you know, by happenstance of you being here in the stream, that's pretty much enough. It's pretty much enough. Christian having unwavering devotion. That's right, Straub. That's another definition. That's right. Piotr Borowski with the 10 PLN saying 280 or something. Let Ryan have his Oscar. He deserves it, for sure. I loved Project Hail Mary. Thank you guys so much for all the super chats. We're already... another one! There we go. Flair with the $10 super chat saying that Nico Nico Ni hit me so hard with my vibration earphones, I stumbled on my way to work. Absolutely based. That was the best way to absorb that auditory goodness. You're welcome. You're very welcome. But thank you for the 10. We're at 11 out of 20 on the super chat goal for today. I don't really know what an ultimate Chud victory looks like. It looks like a Nico Nico Ni for a second, but we got it another way, right? All right, so let me just talk about Project Hail Mary for a second. As you can see, me and Straub saw it about a week ago, and it was a banger. And she is correct. I rated Project Hail Mary higher than any movie I've rated in theaters, that I've seen in theaters since I started doing that about 2 years ago with Straub. we go to the movies every week or two, and I rate what I see out of 10, and I gave Project Hail Mary a 9.2. That's pretty high praise, because I don't think anything is a 10. I think it's impossible to be a 10. I'm one of those snobby people. I'm very snobby, but you know what? Like, the bar feels so low these days. Just come out with a solid, entertaining, wholesome movie that doesn't resort to any cheap nonsense. It doesn't have a political agenda. And you're going to be off to a real good start. I know I'm glazing it up. I've even had like the post-screening clarity. It's been like a week since I saw it, and I still feel good about it. No movie is without flaws, correct. That's my mentality. But why am I talking about Project Hail Mary? Okay, well, in my main channel video, I'll talk more about some related controversies to this, but you can see the author of the film came out and dunked on modern Star Trek, Starfleet Academy in particular, and the related works by Alex Kurtzman, the executive producer of Starfleet Academy, calling them crap. And it's drawn some controversy, where basically people are canceling him. They're also canceling him because he was doing this. He said this during a collaboration with The Critical Drinker, which is another thing, like I said, I'll talk about in my video today. But unfortunately, he has come out and apologized. He's apologized for these comments because he didn't want to be disrespectful and mean. I wish he didn't bend the knee here, because I wish more people in Hollywood would say what everyone thinks. And this is what everyone thinks, right? Everyone thinks this, right? Everyone knows Starfleet Academy was garbage. And he said it, and he got backlash, and I guess he got the Hollywood call, but I'm still taking it, okay? It's still a good thing. But, like, here's the thing. Like, why are we talking about this, right? The other day I mentioned Star Trek Starfleet Academy is getting canceled with the end of its second season. Okay? No surprise to anyone. This was a show that wanted to prioritize virtue signaling, pushing a modern agenda, and owning the chuds, so to speak. And that turns out to be the path of failure. The ratings were terrible. Nobody cared about this show. And when it came to where to place blame, fans of the series blamed everyone but the show and the people who created it, right? They blamed right-wingers. They blamed MAGA. They blamed anti-woke losers for this show failing. But honestly, we know why it failed. It's because it appealed to the modern audience. Much like the title of today's stream. It was the modern audience. That's who they wanted, and that's who they got. But we're hearing excuses across the board, including from actors, including Robert Picardo, who blames the show's cancellation on a lack of advertising.
They're blaming a lack of advertising.
Can you believe this, folks? As I said, the advertising begins with the IP. This is a Star Trek IP. How do you fail? If you produce anything decent, you will succeed. It's not that hard. But no, they cared more about agenda pushing. And people are tired of it. Now, speaking of that modern audience, where is the modern audience? Well, they're showing up strong, ladies and gentlemen. In case you don't know, when this show was canceled, there was a petition. There was a petition. And after about a week, it's gotten 25,000 signatures. This is the modern audience, ladies and gentlemen. One of the most recognizable IPs in the entertainment industry for the past many, many decades. And they produced 25,000 signatures. It's free to sign. You don't have to commit anything. And they only get 25,000. To give you an idea, for Star Wars, the Acolytes got around 100,000 signatures to bring the show back. Starfleet Academy only gets a fraction. Insane. Thanks for actually pinging, by the way, Straub. Yeah, you gotta... Getting notifications for this stream or any YouTube-related thing is like next to nothing. That's why you gotta like the stream. That's why you gotta sub, notifications, join up. Give yourself as many checks and barriers to get a notification as possible. Because this is YouTube. YouTube is very silly. But yeah, that is the modern audience in a nutshell right here. Really bad stuff. Really, really bad stuff. 25,000 signatures. Now, there is a situation here. Okay? We have the modern audience. This show fails. It's getting criticism because it has an agenda. And it's woke. And it's annoying. I'll ask you, I'm gonna pause for 1 second and ask you guys, what do you think has been the response from the actors involved with Starfleet Academy moving forward? What are they doing? How are they reacting to the cancellation? What do you think they're going to do with that second season? What do you think they're going to do? I'll pause for a few seconds. I'll even take a wonderful sip of my energy drink. Blame the audience. They're crashing out. Nothing mature. Blame the fan base. Maturely, fingers crossed? Slack off. Probably ranting about it as usual. Put more money into it. Unfortunately, it sounds like that's what they're doing. I down Green Monster. I haven't had a Green Monster in forever. It's been a very long time. Well, here's what they're doing. Let me zoom out here. Star Trek Starfleet Academy actor says Season 2 is gay as F. Vows to go out in flames. No pun intended, I'm sure. They go on to continue. Star Trek Starfleet Academy actor Kareem Diane is promising to be even louder and more annoying when it comes to representing his character. What are we doing? Guys, I need to get a facepalm toggle. Because that's what I'm doing in real life. They have this second season that was always contractually gonna happen, right? Even though they canceled it, it was already in production, they were gonna finish it. So they said, the actors, we're gonna make this super gay, we're gonna go out in flames, and we're gonna annoy you guys even more. Nothing was learned. Nothing. It's crazy. I'm bi and I hate this exactly. There are people who are part of the LGBT or even liberal. Whoa, even woke people are tired of this show. This is like the extreme of the extreme. Nobody likes this. And someone pointed out the 25,000 signatures. That's more signatures than people actually watch the show. This isn't even like, just even ignore the sort of political lean here. Just understand that this person, this actor is saying, I want to use my role on a show to annoy people. That's crazy. Straub becoming a Giga Revling. Absolutely based. Guys, my wife did it. You are obligated to do it as well. That's right. What a supportive wife. And while I read that anyways, let me read these other two donations. from Dash Attack here with the $10 super chat saying, Rev, thank you for all you do despite all the hate you and your wife get standing up against censorship and cancel culture. Wait till Scary Movie 6 comes out if it's anything like the trailer. Thank you very much for the kind message and the support. Very, very appreciated. We keep on fighting. We've been at this for many, many years. It won't slow me down, that's for sure. Or Straub, for that matter. And Ibuki with the $10 super chat as well, saying, I didn't choose the chud life. Takes glasses off. The chud life chose me. That's right. That's right. Thank you so much for the super chat. We're 13 out of 20 on the daily goal. Thank you guys for the continued supports. Yeah, Straub is an ultimate reveling, that's for sure. But thank you guys for the support, as per usual. Now, here's the funny thing about all this, right? All these public opinions shared by these actors. Let's look in a different direction. Let's look to the past, okay? William Shatner, who is looking great. I saw him celebrating what was like his 94th birthday recently. He looks amazing. Like, the guy looks like he's like 70. Good for him. I'll get to that in a second. All right, chill out. Chill out. Chill out, chat. Chill out. Hold on. Chill out. Let me finish my thought here before we have crazy stuff happening, okay? William Shatner came out and said this. Star Trek wasn't political. I'm not political. I can't even vote in the United States. So to put a geocentric label on interstellar characters is silly. And of course, the question asked is this how celebrities should act? Yes. Yes. He's stunning. William Shatner's thriving. Say what you want about the guy, he's looking great these days. But he's right. He is very, very against the routes that Star Trek has gone in this modern context. And all I could hope is that they reconcile with this guy and get him to support this show creatively and its direction and move forward. Shatner is Canadian. Yes, that's why he can't vote. But yeah, he's not wrong though. He's not wrong. Star Trek wasn't meant to be political. It's been hijacked. Just because it had a more progressive angle to it back in the day does not mean it's inherently political and it has to go to the point of just sloppy virtue signaling. Okay? It doesn't have to go that far. There's a big difference. Okay? Big difference. Alright, let me address the elephant in the room here. Sea of Whiskey. Drowning us in a sea of memberships, okay? With the 50 gifted memberships. Can we get some 07s in the chat for Sea of Whiskey? Big old 07s. That's 50 new members of the channel. That is a true gift right there. And also, Straub says, you were the one who is responsible for getting those pans that we use, by the way. Those are very nice pants. It was off of her throne, I would imagine. We in a sea of whiskey, boys. That's right. But thank you so much for the 50 gifted. That is insane. Look at all those 07s. Thank you. Sorry to your liver. Salutes. True. Also, a train with a $2 super chat as well, saying the only politics games should have is in-universe. Correct. There's politics in games, but it should be the points of the game. It should be focused on the actual universe of the game, not trying to drag in modern-day agendas. For sure. More like I use. Okay, yeah, we get it, Straub. You cook, I don't. She uses the pans, I look at them. Okay? Very true. Massive Doge with the $5 super chat as well, saying, I'm hoping it's good genetics and not the edge. Yeah, I hope it's good genetics too. He's staying young forever, one way or another. Thank you for the 5. Okay, guys, thank you very much for the continued support. But let's get back into it, okay? Let's get back into it. Unfortunately, the comments from the Project Hail Mary author, Andy Weir, calling Starfleet Academy crap, would get a response from author Don Winslow. As you can see, Trek Central here, proudly reporting that he made a comment about that, saying, congrats on the success of Project Hail Mary and The Martian. I'm a real fan, but you will have your moments. Don't use it to crap on other writers' work. Nope. I disagree. I think it's a good thing, actually. That's right. Get mad at me. I don't care. Cancel me. I think it's refreshing to see someone in Hollywood come forward and say, yep, Starfleet Academy and its producer, that's crap. That's slop. That's bad. Okay? That's a good thing. I'm tired of the coddling. I'm tired of everyone in Hollywood pretending like this slop is a good thing. I'm tired of the participation trophies. Enough is enough. But unfortunately, Andy Weir would apologize over the Starfleet Academy remarks. That is the little bad parts of this whole arc. Could be a lot worse, but I enjoyed the experience, okay? I really did. It still was a good thing. We know how someone like him feels, and that's a good thing. He shouldn't have apologized. I agree. He should not have apologized. Saying Star Trek had writers is a bit of a stretch. Fair enough, Funky. Fair enough. That's a good point. That's a good point. We want good stuff, not crap agenda pushing crap. Correct. Lost base points. He didn't lose all of his base points. If he got 5 base points for his initial comments, he lost 1. He's still at a net positive for 4. Okay? We'll take that. It could be worse. It makes you wonder what happens to make them apologize. Yeah. I'm sure he didn't just wake up and be like, you know what? I've changed my mind. I'm going to apologize. No. He got the boss call from somewhere. Whether it was the media, Hollywood, both. That's what I think. I think that's not too shocking. But there's a whole nother angle with the Star Trek stuff and Project Hail Mary. You'll see it in my main channel video today. They'll go live after the stream. Because the Critical Drinker is getting caught in the middle of a boycott involving all of this. It's very funny. Got a ring a ding on the telly. Probably. But apologizing never works. Everyone knows that. But I'm looking at what I'm going to talk about next. And this one's silly. Okay, this one's very silly. We're going to take this is the only thing that doesn't really have anything to do with the modern audience, so to speak. But it still is worth talking about because I saw a clip and it just made me laugh so much. Straub saw me laughing when we were in our hotel the other day, and I just got to watch it with you guys. It's literally too much, okay? It's literally too much. It's too funny. There's certain clips that have to be experienced together. Okay? And this is one of them. But, first of all, Tart Knight, thank you for the 200 Argentinians saying, hey, Rev, I'm curious about a thing. How do you justify lolicon while being a Christian? Well, the thing with all this stuff is as always, with any sort of genre of this stuff, I'm not sitting here saying, like, you need to go out and consume this content. My very fair point, or very simple point, is that I think people shouldn't be called predators over this stuff. And people should have the choice to consume whatever adult content they want. And that's really it. It really doesn't get much more deep than that. People think if you say, hey, don't, especially hypocritically, call people predators over drawings, that doesn't mean you're sitting there, like, consuming it yourself or doing anything like that. That's really the only point with that. I try not to swear in this chat room. This is a very wholesome chat room, guys. Rev laughing, oh dear. Oh, it's good, guys. I wonder how many of you have seen this. Again, this has really nothing to do with anything. Okay? Nothing here. Has anyone seen this? Have you seen this? Have you heard about this? I could not stop laughing. We have to watch a couple minutes of this, okay? Sorry for swearing. Guys, by the way, guys.
You don't have to apologize for swearing, my chat.
I try not to swear, okay? It's something I've been working on. It happens sometimes, even if I'm quoting someone, but I just try not to swear. It's not even good for YouTube anyways, but you don't have to worry about it. Just don't be, like, vulgar, like obscenely gross with your language in here. Okay, but let me explain this clip. Okay, I'm gonna pause my music so you can hear everything, okay? This is one of the most insane clips I've seen in a minute. I'm gonna give you context briefly before we watch it. This lawyer is a trans man, a biological female who identifies as a man, and they have an absolute meltdown, a crash out of the century in court, to the point of being held in contempt. Okay? You can see this is the other lawyer representing the other side. He's just dealing with it. You have the judge just dealing with it, and this crash out is insane. Let's just watch it together. There's nothing else I can say. You just got to experience it.
Hand, which was, you asked me to not provide testimony on behalf of my client. You asked me what paragraph it was. I pointed you to the exact paragraph.
Stop.
It's her education.
Stop.
Stop because you don't want to hear what the argument is.
Stop.
This is a really bad start, guys. When the judge is telling you stop and you keep going and she has to yell at you to stop, this is really bad. Okay? Very unprofessional to say the least. You would expect this from someone who's like talking about a traffic citation, like a person going in unrepresented and talking to a judge, not an attorney.
You interrupt me one more time, you are being held in direct contempt of court, and
Yes,
you can
ma'am.
wipe that smirk off.
I don't
your
have a
face.
smirk on my face.
Oh, yes, you
I do not.
I am not going to tolerate this from you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. There was a pause. There was a break. I wasn't done with my argument.
And I was not done with my statement. You interrupted again.
And so it begins. And so it begins. The slamming of the phone.
Do not throw your...
I did not throw. It fell off the bench. Please stop stating things that are not true, ma'am.
Sir, you've got a room full of witnesses.
I do. I put it down. I did. I put it down and it fell down. I did not fall.
Then settle down.
I'm not upset and I'm not arguing. You're not letting me make an argument. I'm not red in the face, ma'am. I'm not.
Stop. Our court reporter cannot get what we're both saying.
I am trying to make my argument. You interrupted my argument halfway through
This
on
is
an
a panic
objection.
button that will get every...
This is a judge this person's talking to. You don't interrupt a judge, and a judge can certainly interrupt you. This is a courtroom. Why are we having to tell this to an attorney? And you can see This attorney slams their phone down. The judge says, "You just slammed your phone." They say, "No, I didn't. No, I didn't." It's literally a child. This is the most childish behavior ever.
Available deputy and
Yes, ma'am, I'm aware. It's happened to me before.
It has.
Yes.
Because you're out of line
Yeah,
with court.
I guess so.
Okay. If I push that
Or maybe
button-
because I'm a transgender attorney practicing all over the state.
I don't know what.
What are we doing? Immediately pulls out the card that they're transgender. Unbelievable. Immediately pulls out the victim card. It's because I'm trans that you're upset with me. The judge, maybe he's not aware. I was, personally speaking, I was aware the second this person opened their mouth that they're trans. But the judge doesn't seem like they were in any way treating them differently and was addressing this attorney as sir, the way they want to be addressed. But yeah, they pulled the card. You do this because I'm trans. You're mad at me because I'm trans. Well, at least they're gaslighting like a man. Am I right? Am I right?
You do, ma'am. It's not, you do.
So we are pausing this until you get the ADA request form filled out and it gets processed.
So we're going to pause the hearing on jurisdiction that's been set twice. I drove an hour and a half to have the hearing. My client's available telephonically. And
Who cares? Literally, who cares if you drove an hour plus to get to the hearing? That's your fault. What are you going to get, like, brownie points? You're going to get bonus points for your argument? That's so childish. I drove an hour plus. Yeah, welcome to the workforce, brother.
we are simply not even taking testimony.
Is your client available telephonically?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Well, then get her on the phone.
Thank you.
Your Honor, to which we would object. This is as clear as the nose on my face that this woman will not appear before this court because she has a warrant for stealing her
Objection,
children
you're
from
saying
another
that's
court.
not true. And you're ready
You
to
were wrong, sir. that
Don't
you
come
cannot
at me instead of me or shout at me.
I'm not putting it.
Don't shout at me as this person shouts at everyone. Are devoid of accountability. Some things never change. Some things never change. You can take as many hormones as you want. I guess accountability is still lost on this individual.
No, we're stopping.
Get out of my face,
I've been doing
sir.
it for a long
Get out of
time.
my face, sir.
You may step
Get
out.
out of my face.
You should leave this county.
Get out of my face. Get out of my face.
People,
Absolute Giga Chad, by the way.
my friend, you're being ugly.
And get out of my face.
Put your hands behind your back.
Why?
Because you're in direct contempt of court.
He shouted at me. No, I'm not being. You did not even say that I was in
You are
contempt.
in direct.
We have reached the finding out stage, ladies and gentlemen. We have found out what it looks like to be a man shouting at people. If this is the goal, if this person wants to identify as a man, you are getting the experience of what it's like to be a man yelling at people in courts and being in contempt of courts. This is what happens. You get actual consequences. I hope you're glad with where you're at right now.
No, I'm not doing
Judge,
my
I
stuff.
apologize, but I felt very threatened by this person. Not being screaming and yelling in court. I've never even heard that before in this courtroom.
Do not hurt me. Do not hurt me.
Put your hands behind your back.
Do not. Are you throwing me over this?
Stop resisting.
I'm not resisting.
Okay. Put your hands behind your back. Stop resisting.
I'm not resisting, but I'm doing everything in my power to resist the ability for you to put these cuffs on me. Amazing.
You know exactly what's
Why
happening.
don't you all walk that way so you
I can't walk. I'm being thrown down.
I'm being thrown down.
Settle down. Do not grab me. Do not grab me. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? You're hurting me. You're hurting me. You just take me. You just take me. You don't give me. I can't breathe.
Hit him with the I can't breathe.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Put your hands behind your
I
back.
cannot breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Cinema, ladies and gentlemen. Absolute cinema. Bro became the Green Goblin. This is insane. If this person wants to get the male experience, what it feels like to be a man in society, and finding out what happens when you act a fool in a courtroom, congratulations, you found out. This pretty much continues on, but like that's what I wanted to show, okay? That's all I wanted to show. I saw this, I could not stop laughing, and I'm laughing just as hard. You literally can't make this stuff up. There's no parody that could be funnier than this. I got no words. I got no words, ladies and gentlemen. Let me first of all, let me play the music again, but let me read a couple supers and then we'll get to the next thing, okay? I promise, guys. I'm sorry, I just had to play that. It's too good. It's too good. Diabolical noises. Yo, Josh! Thank you so much for becoming a Giga Revling. Welcome to the elite squad, known as the Giga Revlings, which now, with the 50 gifted memberships, we are officially over 700 total members. Thank you guys. And Suna Soul Silver with the 2 Canadian bucks saying, inserts Higuruma meme gif here. 0 accountability. That's right. No accountability was found on this day. And 5 more from Massive Douche saying, remember chat, you don't use your ult immediately like a noob. That's right. Used a little too soon in that one. And Chaos becoming a Revling. Welcome in. Thank you so much for that. And also the Tart Knight becoming a member as well. It's raining members, ladies and gentlemen. You love to see it. And Massive Doge with another 2 saying he is now identifying as Saint Floyd. My goodness. I mean, they made it clear they could not breathe in that clip. In case you didn't hear, they said it many, many times. Whoa, Rev is live? Oh yeah, I'm live right now. Welcome in. Fritzo with the 2 as well. It's the same as Soy Jack face. I mean, someone's got to make some sort of a Soy Jack out of that one. You gotta. Yeah, over 700 Denny's patrons. That's right. Look at it! What? The Tart Knight with a 500 Argentinian bucks saying, if you're curious though on my question how I'd answer, I justify it actually because the enjoyment itself is not a sin, but rather the excess. Like everything is fine in moderation, but rather the excess. Well, it depends on what your definition is. I mean, looking at porn to be lusting in any sort of a form. Yeah, what's Straub saying? I disagree. Anything that's lustful is in fact inherently sinful. Yeah. I just think, again, with my whole argument, or the whole point I would say, is that just because you don't consume content, or you think it's weird, or you think it's something that you don't want to consume yourself, doesn't mean it should just be inherently taken away from other people. People should have the choice, as long as it's not hurting anyone, which in this case it's not. It's just fictional content. But for those who have watched my channel long enough, you know my stance on all this stuff. But thank you for the super chat. That crash out was absolute cinema. True. Very true. 3 more until Chud victory. That's right. We're very close. But let me switch over here. Talk about the next thing. Just loading up my pages. I have a very bad issue recently. with my tabs like auto reloading when I don't use them for a little while, and it's very awkward. They sounded like the old fish from SpongeBob who hates chocolate. Chocolate! I hate chocolate. Very true, actually. Now that I sounded it out, yeah. Okay, guys. Let's move on to the next subject right here. We've been talking about Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. It's a new HBO series that'll be releasing in the coming months, and there's a lot of discussion involving this. But the one that I focused on the most is the round of cancel culture that we see with every Harry Potter IP these days. We're seeing people saying that if you watch and support this series, you are funding trans genocide globally, by the way. They say this because they believe the creator of the franchise, J.K. Rowling, is not only a raging transphobe, but supporting any of her IPs is funding a trans genocide. Now you're asking, what does this trans genocide look like? Well, you'll be hard-pressed to get an answer on that one, but people on Twitter say it, so it must be true. It must be happening right now. Now, of course, people on Twitter like this are getting mocked for being delusional and also contributing to another terrible boycott. We saw what happened with Hogwarts Legacy. 40 million copies sold after that supposed boycott. But the journalists are eating this up. The Verge came out with this article saying this: there is no ethical consumption of HBO's Harry Potter series. They are trying to say there is no ethical way to watch this show. This is the absolute epitome of modern journalism right here. Dissuading you from watching Harry Potter because, well, someone involved in its creation has wrongthink. Slop. Harry Potter in the modern audience is what this looks like. Now, the other angle of this is, of course, the race swapping of Severus Snape. And people are clowning on this. We saw some of the AI memes, the music videos. All of it's very funny. And of course, in true fashion, this is what they do in Hollywood. They needlessly race swap a character. Then people make fun of it. And then the people involved with the show, including the actor, they cherry pick the more hostile comments, the very small number of them, and say, hey, we're under attack and we're going to double down and we're not going to be intimidated. And then they use that as fuel for the show. But of course, it distracts from the show. People are talking more about this race swap than they are about the actual show. And, well, of course, the usual suspects are defending this, saying, a controversial take, but we like both the Snape actors, with a comparison of 2001 versus 2026. Now, you can like both of these actors. Fine. But let's not delude ourselves into thinking this was a smart move, or a necessary one, for that matter. And people are pointing out, who the F is we? And this is the like to dislike ratio for the related trailer. And it has 221,000 likes versus 126,000 dislikes. And I would almost guarantee the majority of these have to do with the change to Snape. They're not just mad because there's a black actor involved with the show, they're annoyed by the ridiculous pandering and virtue signaling. That is the very simple point being made here. The fact that journos and activists on social media can't grasp this to this day tells you that they're either being disingenuous or they're really that out of the loop. But you know what? We're going to use this as a little opportunity to watch some more Critical Drinker. I gotta give my respects here because we also talked about him in today's video. So I want to react to a video he made. I haven't even watched this yet, regarding the Snape Swaparoo. Okay, let me pause here. Let's give it a listen.
The Harry Potter series and I have a complex relationship. The books kind of passed me by in the 90s because angsty teenage drinker was more into serious, pretentious fantasy at the time, so I never really fell in love with them and grew up with Harry, Ron and Hermione like so many other people did. Likewise, when the movies came out in the early 2000s, I didn't have any context for whether they were faithful adaptations or not, and I'll be honest here, the quirky, goofy, family-friendly tone of the early films didn't do much to win me over. I didn't.
Probably how a lot of people felt. Obviously, Harry Potter is extremely successful and has millions and millions and millions of fans across the world, but some people just didn't like it. It just wasn't their thing, especially if you were older when the original movies came out. I could see how you wouldn't be like super into it, but there's a good point being made here, right? Where was it? I saw it in the chat. I just saw it. Very, very important, okay? Blue Freeze saying, I'm old enough to remember when conservatives hated Harry Potter, not liberals. Well, there were people saying, like, this is witchcraft, right? Especially from a religious perspective. Oh, this is witchcraft. This is satanic. This is wrong. And now it's liberals mad at this because they think it's funding trans genocide and accomplishing all these bigoted things. And also people are calling it anti-Semitic. They're saying some of the characters look like Jews, even though if you look at a big-nosed character and you immediately think of Jews, I think that's on you. I think you're projecting, but anyways.
Hate them or anything, they just weren't really my cup of tea, so I was happy to let the fans get on with it. But I was always kind of curious, because nothing achieves that level of cultural impact without something pretty fucking special to back it up.
True.
So, a couple of years ago, I girded my loins, grew my beard, and finally made the time to read the books and find out what all the fuss was about. And damn man, I believe that I finally understood the appeal of Harry Potter. Yeah, J.K. Rowling's absolute abuse of adverbs in her writing can be tough to get through at times.
That's very true.
Watch out, Harry, Hermione shouted warningly.
I hate that too.
Once you see it, you can never unsee it. But overall, the series was an impressive feat of imagination, and in a way, it did make me appreciate the movies from a whole new perspective. Now I understood just how much depth, world building, and complexity they had to cut and condense to fit some pretty fucking enormous books into a 2-hour narrative. What I'm trying to say with all this push is that I greeted the announcement of a new Harry Potter TV series on HBO with about the same level of enthusiasm I'd welcome the installation of a new toilet seat. I mean, it is an improvement, I guess, but is it really going to do anything revolutionary?
Well, we'll have to wait and see on that one. But yes, we met the goal, guys. We'll do the total chud victory here in just a second, right? We'll get it in full swing after this video. Yeah, and thank you, Billy Donuts, for handing out the donuts. Let me see. As a Jew, I am more offended by the liberals comparing me to a goblin. I am obviously Swarf, which are more based gnomes. Very fair. But yeah, doesn't that make you a little upset if you are Jewish and someone sees a goblin in Harry Potter and says, that goblin has a big nose. That reminds me of Jews, therefore J.K. Rowling is offensive. What? That doesn't sound very progressive to me. That's crazy.
Oh, this is the best shite I've done in years.
Hope you guys enjoyed that.
On the plus side, all that extra runtime offers the chance to expand on stuff from the novels that either had to be cut or massively simplified for the sake of movie making, which is nice, I guess. Shit man, it might even do my boy Ron justice this time around. Seriously, the Ron from the books is such a wildly different character from the film version, it's not even funny. He's snarky, he's quick-witted and assertive, he's angsty about his poor background, but he takes no shit from people about it. He argues regularly with Hermione, and he actually wins a lot of the time. On the other hand, I can't say I was exactly desperate to watch the same story get rehashed again, even if it came with a few extra bells and whistles attached. And well, there's the other issue to consider. The first Harry Potter movie came out a quarter of a century ago, and Hollywood is a very different place from what it was in 2001.
25 years ago. I saw that in theaters, ladies and gentlemen. I am old as dirt. Is anyone else having like a midlife crisis right now? My goodness.
But hey, it's happening no matter what some arsehole on YouTube says. And yesterday, the first trailer dropped for Season 1, so what the fuck do I actually think about it? Well, this one left me feeling confused. Right off the bat, the tone of the trailer is bizarrely dark, serious and heavy, all muted colours and washed out lighting, and overlaid with that booming, ominous Hans Zimmer score that feels more like a grandiose, painfully serious Zack Snyder superhero flick than a whimsical kid's adventure. Don't get me wrong, the intention's obviously to contrast the bleak concrete jungle of the Muggle world with the vibrant magic and colours of Hogwarts, but holy shit, we're not launching into some deadly serious epic fantasy here. The John Williams score from the movies was absolutely pitch perfect for Harry Potter, combining intrigue and mystery with an undertone of adventure and danger, and just a hint of playfulness to remind you that yes, you're allowed to have fun with this one. The character
Really? You're allowed to have fun with these movies? That's absolutely insane. No, it's been a long time. I saw the first bunch of Harry Potter movies, and it's been a long time. Me and Straub, we've meant to rewatch them. I think we saw the first 2. We gotta go back. Right, we gotta get our true Chud license here, okay? We don't want that to expire. We gotta rewatch Harry Potter, but I quite enjoyed it, and I think I'll enjoy it more as an adult. Why do I think that? I don't really know. But I feel like I wasn't really that into Harry Potter when I was younger, but I want to give it more of a rerun here.
Characters, on the other hand, are a bit of a mixed bag. The kids all look fine, I guess. The lead actor for Harry doesn't quite have the same spark and charisma that Daniel Radcliffe had, but I'm sure he'll do okay. Hermione is kind of meh. She doesn't have the bushy hair, or the buck teeth, or the pale skin that Hermione was known for, but, you know, apart from that, she's dead on, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of people are frying the child actors in this show, and like, you know what, like, what, I feel a little mean doing that, okay? Like, they didn't choose to be casted, all right? If we're gonna fry anyone, fry the people who chose them. Like, it's a little brutal. By the way, also, all the boomers in the chat making me feel younger, thank you guys, thank you so much. You keep me going, okay?
Petunia has been changed from a pretentious upper-middle-class snob to what looks like a council estate chav for some reason. And yeah, I know that's gonna have Americans scratching their heads in confusion, but what can I say? If you know, you know. It does seem kinda strange though, because the Dursleys represented a very specific kind of conservative middle-class British family that's obsessed with appearance and reputation, which puts them exactly at odds with Harry and everything that he represents. If you've ever seen the sitcom Keeping Up Appearances, you'll recognise absolutely everything about them right there. Actually, it almost makes me wonder if old J.K. Rowling was a fan of the show too. The reality though is that the casting in general is probably going to be compared unfavourably to the film franchise. Say what you want about the movies, but the actors they managed to assemble for them were absolutely phenomenal. I mean, where else are you going to see Alan Rickman, Maggie Smith, Ralph Fiennes, Gary Oldman, Jason Isaacs, Brendan Gleeson, Michael Gambon and John Hurt in the same...
Yeah, can we please appreciate the lineup they had for those films? Absolutely, like, bangers, guys. Bangers. You don't appreciate what you got till it's gone. The old cliche.
Fucking movie. Somehow, I don't think Nick Frost and John Lithgow are quite on the same...
Wait a second. The fact a guy like you can marry Darling Straub gives me hope. What did you mean by... First of all, I am flattered you speak so highly of my wife. Second of all, what you mean by that? Surprised a guy like me? What'd I do?
Level. Anyway, enough about that bullshit. Let's talk about the real elephant in the room. Draco Malfoy's hair.
He's got that Zoomer swag. Me and Straub were talking about this one. He's got that, like... He's got the broccoli hair. Oi, Harry. Oi. You want to play Fortnite?
Seriously, what's with the fucking Gen Z bird's nest resting
Terrible.
on his heads? He looks about as intimidating as
6'7", 6'7", 6'7", 6'7", 6'7".
Patton Oswalt. Oh yeah, and Snape's in the trailer as well. And I'll be honest, I think the casting department did a great job with this
Yeah,
one.
laugh it up,
Apart from
guys.
the hooked nose, the greasy straight hair, the thin physique, and the pale sallow skin, he's the spitting image of Snape from the book.
Guys, wait a second. I'm seeing double. Are you guys seeing this? It's literally the same thing. What the heck? Wow. A plus job on the hiring there.
Really?
Joking aside, race swapping such a prominent character that was clearly described as white in the books and was played to absolute perfection by Alan Rickman in the movies was a pretty dumb decision because ultimately
Very dumb.
it's just going to overshadow everything else about this show. It's basically the only thing that anyone's talking about right now, and based on the ratio on that first trailer, the talk has not been positive. It's also
Wait, AI Snape or HBO Snape? I mean, the people love AI Snape. The AI Snape music video has like at least 200k views and like a 99 plus like to dislike ratio versus the trailer that has like a 60% like to dislike ratio. I think the people have spoken.
exposing the actor to a lot of hate that he absolutely doesn't deserve. And for what? What does all this accomplish, really? Is it going to improve the show? Will it get more people to watch it? Or does it just
No.
become a convenient shield to hide behind so you can dismiss any and all criticism,
Correct.
no matter how valid or well-intentioned, as nothing more than ignorant bigotry? There's a reason most fans let out a collective groan these days every time a new remake or reboot of an old franchise gets announced. It's because the culture that allowed the original versions to get made the way they were just does not exist anymore, and what we get instead tends to be a lazy, pandering, badly written facsimile of it. We've seen it in just about every other IP that ever got treated to a modern remake, and it would be a real shame if we saw it
Unfortunately.
again here. Anyway,
But anyway, should I make dinner? No, I can get us dinner. I can still get us dinner. I won't be that much longer with the stream. We got, let me see here. There's really one more thing I want to talk, two more things I want to talk about, but very quickly. Very quickly. Dislikes are over 200k. I believe it. Let me read some supers, and then we'll wrap up the stream. Let's stream. Okie dokie, chat. Okie dokie. Oh, and I'll play this music. Well, if you want, go have a snack or something. Real quick. Even something small. But we'll figure it out. Yeah, have a quick snack, and then I'll get us dinner. I know you're not feeling the best today, so I will get us a nice pick-up dinner because I can't cook. I cannot cook. Love you too, wife. Thank you. All right, let me read these real quick. Flair becoming a Giga Reveling. I appreciate that very, very much. Wife yelling at you to get off the putter. So real. I had a pickle. A pickle is not going to make you feel full. What are we doing here? But thank you, Flair. Welcome you, Giga Reveling you. And Nenshell Fox with a $5 super chat saying, the journos are... Oh, I read the wrong thing. Sorry, my bad. Harry Potter and the Prince from the Hood arc is going to go crazy if they manage to get that season. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see for that one. Thank you for the 5. And then another 5 from Massive Doge saying the journos are actually siding with the extreme right by trying to cancel a show about witchcraft and wizardry. Strange, bedfellows, am I right? That's a very good point. Who would have seen this coming? Let's say like 20 years ago. Nobody. I thought about this the other day, right? I thought about this. I'm like, free speech has become the biggest concern, one of the biggest concerns of conservatives, and being against free speech has become a very liberal thing. What happened? At least generally speaking, right? Not always the case, but generally speaking, that's crazy. What happened? Shy with another 6 saying, what's the point of watching that show? None! there's no point of watching anything. So you have to convince me to watch it. Make it good. Night Guy with the 5 saying Half-Blood Prince is going to have new connotations now. Yeah, people have made many connotations, actually. That's for sure. Ibuki Enjoyer with the 10 saying happy to support you whenever I can. Thank you very much for that. You definitely do a lot of support. All of you guys support me just by being here, hanging out. And anyone else who goes above and beyond, you are greatly appreciated. And Waifu Blaster, welcome to the Revling family with that membership. I appreciate that. Massive Doge with another 2 saying it's okay, Rev. We are all unks under the same sun. That feels good. Thank you very much. The Turner with another 100. Argentine saying, and yes, I did buy your membership because you deserve it, King. Yeah, I know you wanted the monetary support, so I'd give it to you, even if it's just to buy a small cola. Well, I appreciate that very much. Thank you, Tart. I appreciate it. And last but not least, Waifu Blaster with the 10, saying recently I found several new streams to sub to based on your videos covering their cancel/deplatform attempts. Don't they know they're just making recommended channels lists for us? And that is exactly what I hope. That we can bring more attention to people getting unfairly treated on the internet. What's up, Revixie, saying, what happened? Indoctrination happened with the 20 DKK. Thank you very much for that, yes. Indoctrination is the big issue here. In so many regards and in so many mediums. Chaos Smash with the 2 saying new Snape's dark mask is... You know, I was talking about this the other day. The flashback, the scene with the hanging with the rope is gonna get real awkward if they get to that point, and really when they get to that point. So they'll have to figure that out for themselves. They did it to themselves, ladies and gentlemen, by doing the race swap. That's all I can say. But let's bring back this right here, and let's move on to the next thing. Okay, guys. 2 more things I want to talk about quickly. Have you guys seen this? World of Warcraft is adding its first official Pride event called Dark Spear Dash in patch 12.0.5. The event raises money for the LGBT Trevor Project. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you know, these days I'm not playing retail WoW. It's been a while. I don't really enjoy the modern state of the game. I just keep on playing classic like millions of people do. And this is just another reminder. This is the most ham-fisted attempt at virtue signaling, at checking boxes you'll ever see. And people are not very happy about this. You can see Asmongold commenting on this, getting 10,000 likes saying, I'd be mad at this point, but this event is the least gay thing in the game now. True. Big true. Coming from Asmongold here. It's pretty insane how far Blizzard has gone, but this is really who they are at this point. With all the peddling, with all the wokeness. It's not surprising. It's not surprising at all. I mean, seeing... Was it Khadgar floating around in a pink wheelchair, one of the most powerful wizards in the entire lore, could do anything with his magic. Instead, he's flying around in a pink wheelchair. It makes no sense. We should have known this was dead and buried many years ago, but yeah, people are not impressed, and this is a pretty good example of that. This is an example of why people are tired, why people have gone from indifference to distaste with corporate gaming companies. None of this is Warcraft, none of this is Darkspear activity or world lore driven. This is forced ideology. They didn't even try to make it make sense. That's the thing, right? It has absolutely nothing to do with the game. This is modern agenda being put into the Warcraft universe. And no matter what the messaging is, this is unwelcomed by most players. They are playing to the modern audience. And I believe this is just a symptom of what's been going on with World of Warcraft and many franchises for many, many years. This is nothing new, ladies and gentlemen. And people in the comments are eviscerating this. We need a reverse culture war. Cultural revankism. Nuke this stuff. Arthas did nothing wrong with the quote, "This entire city must be purged." OG World of Warcraft devs now. Look how they massacred my boy. Then you see comments like this. The Trevor Project, you mean the organization that distributes cartoons teaching 10-year-olds about gay sex and grooms them into transitioning without informing their parents. And that is another quote that I saw here about the Trevor Project, which, yeah, is doing what seems to be described here. This is an organization that people have tried to support in the past and have been blasted for doing so because they seem to target children with all that. Guys, don't correct my pronunciations here. You guys know I'm terrible with pronunciation. You got me. You got me, okay? Arthas did nothing wrong. That's right. But yeah, this is a big problem, and people are upset about this. This was the same charity, by the way, that back during the Hogwarts Legacy fiasco that Fruit was going to donate to. She said every like was going to go to the Trevor Project. At least initially, I think she backed out on doing that. But people are like, is this really the one you're going to support? Which I think was a very valid criticism. But anyway, some people are trying to defend this, and they're mad about people calling out this virtue signaling. This user says, if you're one of the sad and pathetic people hating on an event like this, then I'll just assume you're one of the many idiots brainwashed by the Epstein class to sow discord and hate among the populace so that they can continue abusing and eating humans with no repercussions. Huh? What? The only thing I could say in response to this is projection. What else could this be other than projection? This is absolutely insane. This is a comedy show. What are these people even saying? These are the people they're trying to appeal to with these events. Absolutely deranged. I have no idea what this person's trying to say. But this is the target audience. And Blizzard, enjoy. That's all you can say is enjoy. But there's one more thing I want to quickly talk about. But let me check out some cool stuff going on here. Like the 10 gifted memberships from GD Chris. 07's in the chat for our generous gifter. 10 gifted members. Congrats on the memberships, everyone. And thank you, Chris, for hooking up the community. Thank you, thank you. Yes, we got the big 07s in the chat. But here's the last thing I want to talk about here. Okay. So you guys might have heard that there's a new Lord of the Rings movie coming out, and Stephen Colbert is going to help write this movie. And if you're familiar with Stephen Colbert or anyone in that insufferable realm of nighttime hosts, that sort of side of the internet, you are cringing at this, okay? This guy has TDS. He is completely captured by his ideology. I don't trust him to make anything good, let alone help write a Lord of the Rings movie. Now, of course, there's been some hysteria going on via social media on Twitter where people are saying outlandish things about Lord of the Rings, including this individual who's trying to claim that Lord of the Rings is overtly pagan. Overtly pagan. Let's listen to this.
Narnia and Lord of the Rings were, kind of written almost not concurrently in a sense. And Tolkien always said that he didn't like Narnia because he thought that it was too overtly Christian. And I've heard people try to make the argument that Lord of the Rings is overtly Christian, And I hate to burst the bubble, guys, but you're just wrong. There's nothing overtly Christian about Lord of the Rings. There's no church in it. There's no faith in it. There's no Christ figure. There's none of these things. And honestly, Lord of the Rings, if it's anything, Lord of the Rings is overtly pagan.
Wow, you just heard one of the most moronic things you'll ever hear on the internet. Right there. Lord of the Rings is overtly pagan. Now, one of the best features on Twitter, as we know, is the community notes section, and it came in clutch. Saying in letter number 142 to Robert Murray, J.R.R. Tolkien describes Lord of the Rings as a fundamentally religious and Catholic work. Here is an example of that, the source that was provided. In 1953, the Lord of the Rings was being prepared for publication, and Tolkien wrote, "The Lord of the Rings is of course a fundamentally religious and Catholic work, unconsciously so at first, but consciously in the revision. That is why I have not put in or have cut out practically all references to any like religion, to cults or practices in the imaginary world, for the religious element is absorbed into the story and the symbolism. However, that is very clumsily put and sounds more self-important than I feel. For as a matter of fact, I have consciously planned very little and should chiefly be grateful for having been brought up, since I was 8, in a faith that has nourished me and taught me all the little that I know." That is about that, ladies and gentlemen. That settles it, but the craziness would continue because Nerdrotic would reply to Jack saying, "I would stick to the political takes, but those suck too." And Jack would reply saying, "Says the guys with the worst taste in media in the world." 146,000 views, 34 likes, 650 replies. Absolute devastation, ladies and gentlemen. Absolute devastation. Yeah, W Token, by the way. And also, we're seeing more cringe. CBR, meaning Cooked by Rev, one of their contributors, said that The Lord of the Rings is a tough watch. There's far too much moral clarity in The Lord of the Rings for the story to feel authentic and relatable. With very few exceptions, the heroes are always good and the villains are always evil. And yet, the 21st century has no place for black and white perspectives. They are mad that Lord of the Rings paints the good guys versus the bad guys. Heroes versus evil. Good versus evil. They're mad about that. You know who's mad about this? Demons, ladies and gentlemen. They want morally gray because it makes them feel good about themselves. No, this is good storytelling. This is how things are done. It is clear. Good, evil. Good, evil. That's it. And CBR cannot grasp this at all. It's actually insane. It's actually insane, ladies and gentlemen. But that's really all I had for topics today. The modern audience is failing, ladies and gentlemen. But I'll hang out with you guys for a couple more minutes, and then we will wrap this up. But Entropy Denied, thank you for the 5 Ruski bucks, saying, in quotes, "Good people are not relatable," end quote. Yes. Not for CBR, that's for sure. But Rev, orcs are misunderstood. For those who don't know, there was a push in recent IPs to show orcs as misunderstood. Now, to Token, they were irredeemably evil. But in Rings of Power, they're just a little misunderstood. They're victims, in fact. That's how far things have deviated from the author's intent. Patience Ferrith, welcome back, by the way, with the $20 super chat saying, "Hi Rev, hope the stream is going great. I genuinely hate gray morality is the best writing people. Why can't we have good and evil in writing anymore?" Amen. I agree 100%. I hate, it's not that being morally gray is always bad, but it's always what's happening now. It's always the focus. Everything has to be morally gray in this modern time, and it's just exhausting. It's exhausting, ladies and gentlemen. I'm tired of seeing it. And by the way, in case I didn't make this clear, we did hit the super chat goal. Total chud victory. And that's it. What does a total chud victory feel like?
Feels like right now, ladies and gentlemen. It feels like right now. Us being here. Laughing at the modern audience slop failing once again. That's what a total chud victory feels like. It feels good. Dang it, it feels good. And look around, look to your left, look to your right. You're surrounded by your fellow chuds. This is a chud victory. W to all of you today.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Total chud victory. Thank you for hanging out today. I think that's going to do it for the stream. I'm very happy to be here. I'm happy for all the supports, all the super chats, the memberships, and all of you just hanging out, having a good time. Thank you for supporting the stream. I will likely be back tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then the next day. We got lots more to talk about, okay? Make sure to like the stream, subscribe, put on your notifications, do all those things, and get ready for the next one. And also, main channel videos going live in 5 minutes. So be there, or be square. Thank you guys for hanging out. Have a great rest of your morning, afternoon, or nights. God bless you all. And I'll see you next time. Peace!